Hello. It is just an interesting journey for me personally, as I'm sure it is for you if you're choosing to do virtual yoga, of finding our way to stay connected and stay connected to reality, stay connected to those things that ground us, that care for us. Like, I know if you're doing yoga virtually, that yoga is a major part of your self-care toolkit. And having to adjust. Oh, look at my crazy shadow back there. Hello. Having to adjust, because we're all dealing with our shadows, by the way. Having to adjust to not being in person. The security we once knew isn't tangible. It's really hard to touch. So what we have are our emotions, our feelings, our connection. Now, some of us are like thriving in this time. I've learned to reframe. Actually, I have to give a lot of shout out to Deborah Silverman. I was on a call with her. She was asking me questions about this course I did. And she was like, oh, Saturn in your 10th house, 29 degrees, you are learning how to be a mom. And I really am learning how to be a mom right now. It's not easy. And what I find is that in that sort of emotional roller coaster that motherhood brings, even choosing not to have kids, even the emotional roller coaster of do I or don't I, or what do I do with my kids, or what do I do with myself if I don't have kids, because society all brings that to us. There's a lot of stuff that comes up. And so as I look to the skies to tune in, I can tune into the bigger energy because I can't tune into you all. I can't see you all. I can't tap into the energy that surrounds you. So as our self-care practices change, we want to remain open. And the way we can remain open is by cultivating that emotional security, and that comes from our energy within ourselves. Okay? That energy within our so funny. Somebody who wanted to do class earlier today, Facebook messaged me, and I can't check Facebook Messenger while I'm teaching. So just that adjustment, right? And so that emotional security comes from within us. It comes from our capacity to trust inside of ourselves. But it doesn't mean we're trying to make it all perfect. It doesn't mean that we're going to be happy 100% of the time. It doesn't mean that we're going to be like on cloud 9 or deeply in love. What we are in right now is a relationship with our shadow, since it's back there, right? We're in relationship with the parts of ourselves, the darker layers of ourselves, that when we were so busy in our lives before, we didn't have to tend to. I always knew the mundaneness of life was not my strong suit, but I never sat with it. And I attempted to work on becoming a domestic goddess. Is not what I'm good at. So emotional security is that place of we've got to find the container and the acknowledgement of all the benevolence and all of the abundance we have around us. I really want to tell you that there's this sweet conversation as the structure of our life is kind of coming down and falling apart, that there's a sweet conversation of our dreams and how we want those dreams to really influence what the path that what we're illuminating for ourselves individually and collectively. And so when we can get into the emotional container of our being, then we can trust in our own light, that when there's the challenge of our ambition and our ability to slow down, because that's in quite the tension right now of where are we going, how are we going to get there? Everybody wants everything to change right now. However, we want to learn these ways about ourselves and embracing our shadow and embracing the parts of ourselves of being human. I mean, that's why we get on the mat, right? Is to deal with our humanness. So let's get on the mat. We're going to start standing. Okay, and that motherhood energy, by the way, I'm just going to carry on for just a second to tag on, is each of us have to be able to mother ourselves. Even my husband has to be able to mother himself. Each of us have to be able to tap into the yin and the yang, the polarity energy of going outward and being spiritual and going inward and being soulful. So the spiritual energy, the outward active energy, is usually more masculine when it gets described, and the more soulful inward processing is the feminine. So there's this lovely conversation in the earth and water elements of the sky right now, which are feminine energy, and there's a lot of friction in the spiritual realm, and the realm of how do we articulate that energy from within and put it out into the world. So that friction, though, keeps us motivated. So, in the motivation of being on our mats, we're going to start standing. The year is at this point of closure. We're also in this place of moving into new energy. And so really finding that ability to surrender inward and cultivate the connection to just trust what you're feeling inside, even if it's heavy. If it's heavy, bring it, acknowledge it, bring it to the surface, and just ask it to guide you and help you, because our emotions are some of our greatest guides. They will be straight up with us, but we're more than that, so we don't get stuck in the emotional landscape. Hands come together at your own heart. I think I'm a little passionate about that conversation. I just chatted for a while. As your hands come to your heart, let your eyes close, feel connected to your breath. That you're animating your soul right now as you breathe in and breathe out. So they work together. And while some of that energy wants to be very independent, we have to actually go inward and respect ourselves. But we're also in relationship. And so that energy also wants us to relate to one another with just peace and love, but we have to have the hard conversations. And we can have the hard conversations when we hold kind of the bigger dream of where we all really headed anyway. Right now we're heading into this moment. Another big inhale in and a big exhale out, calling on the highest, harm to none. And reminding ourselves that our choice to move inward, that even though it's a individualized experience, we're not alone. And so we can feel that connection to all that is supportive for our highest good. And we can choose mindfully of how we want to engage with this energy and use our practice as a point of awareness to help us step forward with greater alignment, greater elegance, and greater power. Keeping your eyes closed, bend your knees, pull your hips back, fold all the way forward, touch the hands to the earth, and then open your eyes looking to your feet. Hands to your shin bones. Inhale, lengthen the spine, open the heart. And then exhale, bow down. We're going to bend our knees. Your hands are going to slide up the backs of your legs. Roll the spine up if you can. Feel your hips through the sides of the body, all the way up. Arms stretch up overhead. Interlace the fingers, stretch over to the right. Inhale through the center line. Exhale to the left. Inhale, come all the way back through. Arms go wide, hinge at your hips. Your hands are going to go straight back down your backside, all the way down. You're going to squeeze your ankles, push them to the ground. Inhale, lengthen the spine, hands to your shins. Exhale, fold over. So we're just going to soften the edges right now. Bend the knees. Draw through that center line. Oops. Up the back of your buns, up through your sides, all the way up overhead. Interlace fingers. Exhale to the left. Inhale up through the center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, come all the way back through. Arms go wide. Hinge at the hips. Down the backside, all the way forward. Squeeze the ankles. Inhale, lengthen the spine. 5 is our sacred number today. Exhale, fold forward. Knees bend, slide, roll up. And just feel that connection to your inner self. Reaching over to the right side, which is more of our activating, initiating side. Inhale through the center, reaching over to the left, which is more of our receptive and embodied side. Inhale up, hinge at the hips. Fold all the way forward. Do the next 2 on your own and just feel connected. Feel connected to all that you're feeling inside. Acknowledge it, see it, tune into it. And feel how engaging with it lets your whole system know you're here for yourself. You're not just floundering around. Arms go wide, hinge at the hips. Right? Your own groove. Just squeeze the ankles at the bottom to ground. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, over. Last time, rolling up. Arms go up overhead. And exhale to the right. Inhale through the center and exhale over to the left. Inhale, come all the way back through. Arms go wide. We're going to clasp the hands behind us. Shoulders drawn to the back. Bend the knees, thighs pull back. Pull into that core. So now we're more active and just notice the friction, the challenge, the engagement, the polarity of being more soft and soothing. Bend the knees deeper, pull into the core more. Move the head around just to open up the shoulders. And then exhale, hinge at the hips. Knees are bent, pull into the belly. Elbows are bent. Get all the muscles to fire up. Shoulders are into the back. And then straightening the legs. They may not go straight. Move the head around. And then free the hands down. Big inhale, lengthen the spine. Step back with your left foot. Bring the knee to the earth. Push into the ground. So we're in a low lunge. Be strong through your legs. Hands come back. Switch the clasp. Shoulders drawn to your back. Inhale, lift the heart. Open the chest up. Big full breath in. Exhale, bow forward. Hands to the earth. Hips pull back. Keep your front foot on the ground. Hips pull back. Draw into that core. Stretch long through the spine. Full breath in and a full breath out. Exhale, lunge forward. Back knee's gonna lift. Right leg goes all the way up to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip up. So you're in a downward dog. That's strong, that's connected, and is open and is free. And then inhale, bring the knee to the wrist, all the way down to the earth. Come all the way down to the ground. Relax the head, neck, and jaw. Feel the power of your breath, the connection to you. And then tuck the back toes. Pull the strength of the legs together. Come up onto your hands. You're going to inch the back knee in. Back knee lifts. Pull into the center. Knee lifts up. So just feel what I'm doing right now is I'm playing with the soft, receptive, and then the active and engaging, which is what yoga is all about, by the way. Knees high or low. Elbows bend all the way to the earth. Feet point back. Hands sweep back. Clasp. Interlace, open the heart. Full breath in, full breath out. Keep the heart lifted, feet grounded. Lift into that core. But when you release your hands and they connect to the earth, soften. Let your being, let your nervous system, let the cells of your mind know that you're present. You're conscious of this choice to cobra or upward dog. And then lift through the core, move all the way back. Downward facing dog. Slowly walk forward to the front edge of the mat. Both feet beneath you. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Fold over. You can roll the spine up, otherwise strong, long spine. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, the arms wide. Clasp the hands again. Shoulders to your back. Bend your knees. Thighs pull back. Pull into the core. Be open, alive, full. And then you're going to hinge at the hips, leaning forward, core's lifted. Bow down. Your belly is on your thighs. Move the inseams of the legs back. Hug the outer hips towards your tail. Fold over. The legs may not go straight. Make sure there's a container for the arms, that you're not just overextending. And then exhale, free the hands. Inhale, lengthen the spine, knees bend, right foot goes back, knee to the earth, low lunge. You can tuck the toes or untuck. Pull into that center. Give yourself the container so that you can be in connection with the relationship with yourself. Hands clasp again, shoulders to your back. Lift the heart, full, gracious breath in. And then exhale, hands to the ground. Hips are going to pull back. Keep that front foot planted, so big toe mound. And I want you just to feel how you're restricted right now. You can't fully move, you can't fully shift. And notice what comes up from there, and then just be like, oh yeah, my foot's on the ground. Gotcha. How am I doing this moment? It's all good. Lunge back forward, hands to the earth. Knee lifts, legs stretches up to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip up. Feel that strength and that connection. It is a dance. Life is such a dance. Knee comes to the wrist, pigeon, all the way down to the earth. And so we're dancing with these polarities. And we're conscious of them as we breathe in and as we breathe out. And we use the breath just to connect to ourselves. The journey we're on, the dance we're engaged with. And then exhale out completely. Hands come underneath your shoulders. Ready? Push into the earth. Back knee lifts. Thigh lifts. So lift from the inseam of your leg. Pull into your core. Knee lifts up, right? And then stretch it into plank pose. Knees high or low, all the way down to the earth. Point the feet back, hands reach back. Hopefully you're alternating the clasp of your hands. Inhale, rise up, feet on the ground, Shalabhasana. Hearts lifted, shoulders reach to the back. Free the hands, kindly place them to the earth. You're in this relationship with the ground, cobra or upward dog, with your body, with your breath, with your spirit, with your soul, with the experience of your life. Draw through the core. Toes tuck, move it all the way back, downward dog. Heels lift, we're going to walk it forward. And now notice, just through the little opening in the sun salutations, right, that we are starting to be in that place of that intentionality of our practice. Bow forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold over. So reclaim your own intention through what's already showed up, whatever you're having to deal with right now. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms go up overhead. And exhale the hands to your own heart center. And as you stand here, pause and pull back into how much more secure you feel in yourself. It's really funny. It's never a bad idea to do yoga. But even yours truly, right here, I resist it so much sometimes. Exhale, release the hands. Take the weight over to the right foot. And inhale the left knee up. Just check in with your balance. Knees bend, thighs pull back, drop into that core. And then once you feel your balance, oh, I'm not having a hair tie strip, I'm crazy. Once you feel your balance, bend the knee and hold on to the foot. Now, if that didn't work out for you, you can go to a wall. You can use a wall for balance, and you can just bend the back knee, find the foot. We're going for the outside of the foot. pull the strength of you into your center. Because when there's intense opposition of, do I step forward? Do I have a dream? Do I try to continue to create what was, or do I create what could be? We find our center. Shoulders to your back. Draw into the core. Arm stretches up overhead. Keep the arm bones plugged in, thigh bones plugged in, waistline back, heart expansive. Kick the foot back, lift the heart up. Now, if you would like to challenge your balance a bit more, go for it. Be creative. Feel that expression that is true to you. Stay engaged with your own essential self. Be willing to fall over, because the security is from knowing inside you're just doing a variation of dancer pose. And then we're going to inhale, come all the way up. Foot to the earth, both arms to the sky. Big full breath in. And then exhale, arms by your side. Knees bend, pull into the core. Weight goes to the left foot. We're doing a little dance. Hold on to the foot, draw in. So we're in this place of like, okay, what's already come up for us so far? What's the kind of opening that we found with our intention? Then bend the knee, hand to the foot, shoulders drawn to the back. You gotta pull all the way back in. Both sides are long. Left arm goes to the sky. Open the heart, open the chest, feel that connection, and then choose, what is it? Do you want to stay upright and open, or do you want to bow? And the bowing is actually easier but harder, right? The standing upright is also easier but harder. Feel the connection to you. Not safety and just keeping it easy and what you know, but trusting in your own journey. Think about how many times things have fallen apart on you, but you found your way again. Maybe it wasn't on your time, but you found your way. Come all the way back through, both feet to the earth. And now arms go up overhead. Exhale, hinge the hips, bow with the heart. So the shoulders are to the back, the core is lifted, folding all the way forward. Bow all the way down. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And exhale, fold. Knees are gonna bend, left foot goes back. Lunge forward into the front knee. We're gonna bring our right elbow to rest on our right knee. Okay, right forearm's on your knee. You're not trying to bring your chest upright. You're gonna pull the strength of the legs together, pull the belly in, and you've got to make sure you're on the right spot of your knee. Bend the back knee, reach the hand for the foot. Holy smokes, thigh stretch. This one's really intense. So even just doing a low lunge, you're getting a thigh stretch. Meet yourself where you are so your body can trust your mind. Pull into the center, draw into the core, chest lift, shoulders drawn to your back. Right hand can go overhead or right hand can come by your side. Keep lifting the heart, lifting the chest. Lift through the roof of the mouth. Big full breath in. Full breath out. Draw into the core. Hands come to the ground. Lightly free the foot. Lift the knee this time. Back knees up off the ground. Little bend into the knee. Straighten the front leg. Right foot still planted. Draw the outer right hip back. Back knees bent. Front leg straight. Breathe into your hamstring. No, okay, so I just caught myself, right? I'm like, oh yeah, what's going on? I've totally lost the connection to that left sideline. I just got caught up in the activization of get head down that I lost the connection to staying contained. Big full breath in, full breath out. Now, you're probably going to have to adjust this based on your own genetic makeup. You're going to push through your hands, downward dog, right leg to the sky. Big full breath in. Big full breath out. Open the hip up if you want. Straighten the leg if you want. And then exhale. Knee to your wrist. Pigeon. All the way to the ground again. Just release. Release, release, release. What was coming up? What was working? Please, you always have mini pigeon pose on your side. Stay connected to your breath. We create the security so that be through boundaries, okay? The boundaries are in our practice here. It is the use of our muscles. So we're not just all plopped out here. We want to actually hold the bones of our being, just like our skin, right, is a boundary. Without it, we would just be a big blob of cells all over the place. Without our bones, we would be a big pile of mush. So we want to really feel that container that gives us the backbone to be able to move forward. You're going to stay leaning forward and just pick up the back foot. This is great for those of you who couldn't find the thigh stretch doing a low lunge. So you can stay here and just get a stretch to your thigh. You can do that mini pigeon pose or come up onto your hands. Hold onto your foot, draw into the center, find your fingertips, find a lift. Maybe the arm goes overhead, maybe it goes by your side, maybe not. Stay connected to your core. So feel how this is a soft pose with a lot of power. And then exhale, free the hands to the earth. Back knee lifts, pull the thigh bone in, knee lifts, just move it from side to side, clear out the hip, step it all the way back, plank pose, knees high or low, all the way to the earth. Gecko cobra, feet point back, hands go wide, elbows rise, lift through your core, shoulders to the back, and then inhale, curl up. Exhale, bow all the way back down. Hands come under your shoulders, cobra or upward facing dog. Feel that power and that strength that's serving to you. And then move it back. Downward dog. Lift the heels, walk the feet forward. So if you ever see an earth symbol before class, we'll do a lot of keeping the hips square so we can get grounded, so we can trust in. And then we'll open up our hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine, open the heart. Exhale, bow. Believe it or not, we are opening our hips. Either a strong, engaged spine or an engaged core. Roll up the spine. Inhale the arms overhead. Lots of length, lots of connection. Exhale, hinge at the hips. All the way back down to the earth. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And step back with your right foot. Knee to the earth. Okay, so lunging forward, right? You can even just work your hands on blocks, draw into your core, and trying to lift the foot up. This will be easier on the knee. All right, sorry I didn't give it to you the first time. Otherwise, elbow comes to your thigh. Pull into the center. Lift into the core. We're clearing out the fronts of our thighs and our hips, keeping our center, keeping ourselves grounded. Reach the hand for your foot. Maybe. I have not done this in so long, it's hard for me. Draw into your core, shoulders come to your back. Find that length, lift through the chest, open through the heart. Maybe the hands by the side, maybe it comes into the center and stretches up overhead. Let the expression of this variation of a royal pigeon be yours. And then exhale. Hands come to the ground. Release the foot. Back knee lifts. Bend the knee. So as the knee's bending, you're really scissoring the legs together, pulling into that core and keeping that length through the spine as you get this big clearing through the left leg, and hopefully it's clearing in your back leg. Opposition. You guys feel how the front leg is wanting to do one thing and the back leg is wanting to do another? So this soft bent knee is actually our support system so we can clear out the tension in the front leg. As you're here, again, you might have to adjust because you're in charge of you. And my limbs are long, so this is one of the things I can do. Downward dog. Left leg to the sky. Open the hip. Breathing in and all the way out. And then we'll go into pigeon. All the way to the earth. Being connected to your breath, to your being, to those inner parts of yourself. It's not so much about your preference right? And finding security by what we prefer, but actually allowing the emotions to move, to not be stuck. So you can stay bowing down and bend the back knee. Right, pulling into that center, you'll get a thigh stretch, I promise you, being here. And you're just gonna retrain and realign the conversation with your body to find your way. Come up onto your hands, if that's working. Even just coming up onto your hands, that would be the next stage of just building that trust and not adding to the tension. Like there's tension, there's stress here. But we're doing it intentionally where we can actually adjust and expand. Stay here, maybe come up higher. Maybe the arm goes overhead, maybe it goes by your side. It's not so much about going for the deep, deep thigh stretch, but meeting ourselves where we are and creating a security in the foundation with the way we engage with our own energy. So when we step back out, we're clear. Free the hands, free the foot. Back thigh pulls in, inner thigh lifts, knee comes up. You can move the leg from side to side to clear it out. Stretch the leg back, knees high or low. All the way to the earth. Stretch all the way out through your legs. So come all the way to the ground, all the way to the soles of the feet. Hands go wide, fingers lift, elbows lift. Pull into the core. Inhale, lift the heart. So we want to dream with our soul, right? Not our ego. We want to feel not so much that independence, but that collective energy, to be in relationship. And the way we relate to ourselves will really be telling of how we relate to the world. Exhale, bow all the way down. Cobra or upward dog. Inhale, curling the heart open, finding that lift, and exhale, moving back. Downward dog. Lift the heels, walk the feet forward, step by step, little by little. Coming all the way to the front edge of the mat. Lady Lulu is here. Her little dose of cuteness. We've been learning how to be a mom to a puppy again. Hands to your shins, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bow. Either a long active spine or an active spine where you're softer on the edges. Inhale, arms rise up overhead. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Meet yourself here, just as you are. Fix your hair. My hair usually ties in a little bun, but it's not doing it for me right now. And as you stand in your light, stand in that emotional awareness, right? So hopefully in being on your mat and moving your body and even virtual yoga, right? You're even more reliant upon yourself. Your truth is even louder. The shadows are even more dynamic. We can't just lean into the energy of everybody else. We have to lean into the energy of ourselves, which is hard because we don't have access to the ways we used to restore. So we have to open ourselves up to new ways. Here we go. Knees bent, thighs pull back. Draw in. You're going to hold on to the left foot with the left hand. Pull into the center. And if you can, also hold on to the foot with the right hand. You got to really hug the left leg to the midline. Internally rotate the leg. And as the leg internally rotates, draw that right shoulder blade more into the back of the heart. Draw into the core, lengthen the spine. You can stay upright and look to the sky, or you can bow forward. Wherever you go, there is tension, there is challenge. So we don't need to fire up more, we actually want to back off more. We can feel the container, but we also feel the connection to our higher self. And then inhale, come all the way up, right. Keep the foot lifted if you can. Bring the right hand to your heart, left hand to your heart. The foot may fall, it's fine. Draw into the center, hinge at the hips. Keep pulling into that midline, folding forward all the way to the earth. See if you can keep your hands off the ground. There's no bonus if you can. So the hands can come to the earth, keep bending the knee. Draw into the core. You're gonna step the foot back into intense leg stretch. Okay, so here you are, pyramid pose. There's an intensity to both legs. The back heel's finally extended. Draw the front outer hip out. Lengthen the spine, if possible. Full breath in. Full breath out. It's just major clearing, major connection. And then we're going to step back into downward dog. So lunge forward, lean forward, leg goes up, open the hip. And then inhale, come through the center, knee's going to come to your wrist. Okay, we're not going to the ground this time. So here we are in pigeon pose. Roll over to your right foot and then just keep rolling all the way over. The right knee may need to come up to ground down. So this is the first moment we've gotten into our inner thigh, the whole class. We've done hamstrings and quads. We've done the front and the back line of the body. We did the outer line with pigeon pose. Now we're getting into the inner line. So this is where I feel it immensely right now. Just being here, you want to check in with yourself. How easy is it for you to ground down? I personally feel like every cell of my body is being worked these days. And the emotions that I've been swimming through have been rather heavy, but continuing to know that it's not there forever, okay? I'm going through my Saturn opposition, which is way fun during quarantine, but those are just transits that can be difficult. So we're all transiting because nothing stays the same. So meet yourself here. Lulu's trying to transit out. Lengthen the spine, draw into the belly. You're going to bow forward. Hands can go into that gecko cobra. Maybe the arms go wide. Forgot to fold up my mat. Oh well, that rug. You're going to bow, lengthen the spine. Maybe you can get all the way to the earth. Maybe you're all the way back here. Right? I've done this one, this water season more than Skandinavasana because I feel like we just need to get grounded more. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. You're gonna ground into the earth. So don't get all critical on yourself. Okay, that's not a good use of your energy. You can notice and be observant and be a witness of, oh, I can't get that far down, or maybe I can. And meet yourself where you are and breathe into that. And adjust the way you need to adjust. Don't take a shortcut just to get to the destination because then we miss the opportunity to really evolve and grow. You're going to inhale up, or maybe you stay down. Bring that elbow to the thigh, to the inside of the knee. Quarantine yoga has taught me that actually taking my elbow behind my knee has been way more beneficial. You're going to draw the shoulders into the back, stretch the arm by your ear. So we're in a big inseam and side body stretch. Maybe the hand finds the foot, maybe not. Be with your breath, be with yourself where you are, and adjust. Just because I could come to the earth didn't mean that was the best spot for me. Big full breath in and a full breath out. Ground into the earth. Lengthen through that midline. Come all the way up. So the core, the energy to transition comes from within, so you can rise. That's the emotional security, the trust that you can get back up again. You're going to bend the left knee, lengthen the spine. I'm going to give you choices, okay? Come to a mini pigeon if that felt like it was just way too much, all right? Come into that mini pigeon thigh stretch. Or stretch the left leg out long. Push into the right hand. You're going to inhale the hips up, okay? You got to heel toe the back foot in. I just feel like going here. You can decide if it works for you. You're gonna draw in to that center, come all the way up. So here you are, your knees are bent. Back knee came up off the ground, so the right leg's up. You've got to find the ground to feel steady to come into that Vashisthasana variation. And if you want to, bend both knees, reach the hand for the foot. Right shoulder has to draw into the back. Open up into that full little side plank, baby dancer. Full breath in, and then exhale. Wherever you are, we'll make it back to downward dog. Breathe all the way in and all the way out. We're gonna walk to the front edge of the mat. Find both feet. Exhale, bow. You can enjoy a forward bend or heel toe the feet wide. Turning the feet out, draw into the core, coming into Malasana. Say a little prayer. What are the patterns of our own beliefs and how are they supporting us? And then touch the hands to the earth, bring your hips back up, walk the feet back in underneath you, fold forward. And then you can come up through an engaged, long, elongated spine is really what I keep meaning to say. An elongated spine, because both of them are highly engaged, or roll the spine all the way up. Inhale the arms overhead. And exhale the hands to one's heart. This is a practice of connecting our body and our mind, our breath, because that's what keeps us alive, and our soul. Hands by your sides, bend the knees, and even though it's challenging, bend the right knee. Find yourself here. We've been here before. Feel how much you have to pull the thigh in, pull into the core. And as that right leg hugs to the midline, you also have to draw the right side of the heart forward so the left shoulder can move back. Maybe you're just here as you bow. Maybe both hands can find your foot. Lengthen the spine, feel the connection, and then bow forward. Relax the toes if they're taking off to sky. They can also keep you really, really steady if you spread them wide. Bow where you need to be. Now we're going to inhale and come all the way back up. And once you come all the way back up, release the foot, it's going to fall. So just bend the knees, hands come back to the heart, foot's off the ground. You're trusting in that standing leg so much. Pull into the center, hinge the hips. Keep the hands in the heart if you can. Relax the neck, relax the jaw. So our toes are going to help us soar. Hands can come to the ground. And then we're going to step the foot back. We're not doing standing splits, even though it could be fun. Push the heel to the ground. It's not an air and fire day. Push the back heel to the ground. Draw into the core and then bow. Breathing into the energy of you. Breathing into that connection of being anchored and steady, but feeling that energy of your beliefs and the power of transformation, supporting the infrastructure of your life. And then we'll lunge forward, hands ground down, push into the earth, downward dog, leg goes to the sky, knee open, set the foot free, centered and connected to both sidelines of the body, knee comes forward to pigeon, but from pigeon we're gonna roll all the way over, right? So you gotta roll all the way over till the right hip comes down, left foot climbs in, finding that connection. So just check in. What's the inner narration? What's the inner story? Is it a story that you're just keeping in loop and staying stuck? Or can you break out of the looping and just settle all the way into your hips, settle all the way into the deeper depths of yourself, and tune into what's going to be of service. Outer hips stay anchored. Sides stay long, core's in, arms walk forward and bow forward. Pouring the heart forward. It's just a variation of getting into that inner thigh all the way on the ground. So in some ways we're even more limited, in other ways we have more access. And then you're either going to come up or you're going to walk your elbow over to your thigh or to the inside or to the outside. This side has no interest in going all the way to the ground. Shoulders to your back, core, and stretch long. Get the extension all the way through the head. If you find your foot, great. So I can find my foot here, but I have completely disengaged. I get a little bit of a stretch behind my rib cage, but this is so lost. There's no connection here. So stay more connected through the waistline, the part that connects our heart and our mind to the soles of our feet, to this human experience. And don't just get caught up in what the outer form looks like. Get caught up on the inner connection. That's where we'll feel security. We won't feel security if we always base it on the outer expectation. Inhale, come all the way up, right? So choices, mini pigeon and bow down. Mini pigeon with a thigh stretch. They're all equally good. I just feel like going for the full heart opening because it's the connection to the core. So if you're going for the full opening in the side arm balance, you're going to find the right foot extended. The foot's turned in. You got to have that internal rotation all the way into the heart. Bend the knee. You're going to come up so you can feel the position of your hand. Stretch long. You could even be here or bend both knees. The left knee comes up, it stretches out. So I'm bending my knees, thighs are back, shoulders are into the back body. You're gonna stretch into side plank. And then maybe you bend both knees again. You find the foot and lengthen the spine. This side's hard. Big breath in and a big full breath out. Wherever you are, honor that you showed up. Downward facing dog. Full breath in, full breath out, and then walk the feet to the front edge of the mat, all the way forward. Find your feet beneath you, exhale, bow. And then inhale, lengthen the spine, heel toe the feet apart. We're going all the way down to the earth this time. Heel toe the feet apart, turn the feet out, lift through the core, come all the way into that yogic squat. The wider your feet are, the broader foundation you have, so you'll feel more supported and secure. Big breath in, big full breath out. Touch the hands to the earth. We're going to come all the way seated. You can come into Baddha Konasana or just a cross-legged pose. Sit in the way that supports you and serves you. I like to sit also this way. This is one of my, if I'm meditating and sitting on the floor breathing, I will sit more often than not with my legs wide. So hips are grounded, spine's long. It just helps me really ground into the earth. I can get very cerebral and caught up here, and I can also get very stuck in the emotional fire of my heart. So find the seat that's supportive for you and simply bring your hands to your heart. Simply feel connected to your breath, right? All that you're sensing and feeling. Feeling the burden of responsibilities, the uncertainty, the unknowing. But know this moment. How are you right now, in this moment? And know that you're not stuck in this moment. So maybe you feel great, serene, and maybe you're hearing Lulu and you can't focus because you just want me to let her out. Or maybe you're just in a deep space within your own self. All of them are right, none of them are wrong. They are your truth of the moment, but we want to know ourselves at a deeper level so we can truly, that's how we are mindful. That is how we are filled by the light of our sacred essence. It's how we can navigate the tension and the stress and the uncertainty and the fear that shows up in our life. Breathe into your heart and just feel the connection to the light of your own heart, illuminating your hips, illuminating the ground you're standing upon. Knowing that your dreams are possible. We just have to be open to how they could look and receive the guidance. Go beyond our own self that keeps us stuck in that fear loop. And lean in to the support of one another in new ways. Big breath in. And then exhale, just let the head bow down. Let the palms turn up. Let the eyes open, looking into the palms of your hands. However you're seated, we're going to come lying all the way down. Bring your knees with you. Once your knees come with you, heads to the ground, all the way to the ground. Make sure the head gets all the way to the earth. Happy baby pose, or hold on to your ankles, let your knees open up. Deep breath into the belly, and a deep breath out. Some of you in Happy Baby are going to want to extend the legs fully all the way out. Go for it if you have access to it. I never say no to Happy Baby. It actually feels okay right now. So you've got to be willing to explore, but also listen and know what is right. And the only way you know is by tuning into yourself and letting your awareness trust in the process that we continue to evolve and change. Slowly come back to the center, feet to the ground, adjust the hips, the spine, let the legs stretch out long, feet fall open, and find yourself just where you need to be on the earth. Connecting to the breath. And let the breath just flow. Let your awareness just flow. Let it dance through the core lines of the legs and the arms and the spine, just upward and downward. Not getting caught up or overly focused, but just letting it flow. Letting your awareness and that life force be alive within you and inside of you, even though the outer form seems soft and at rest. Just as you are, enjoy a deep breath in and a deep breath out. letting your awareness return to your own heart. Just as you are, feel the expansive nature of your breath as you inhale in, and the expansive nature as you exhale out. Just as you are, sense the layers that are a little more settled. Not that you have all the answers, but that the conversation inward with yourself is a little sweeter and a little kinder and a little more compassionate, is my hope, as you breathe all the way in and breathe all the way out. And feel the rising tide that is allowing your heart to float and your being to feel more buoyant, even though you're grounded into the earth. And begin to roll the head from side to side. And then wiggle the fingers and wiggle the toes. And then as you inhale, stretch your arms out long. Bend both knees. Find both feet on the ground. Deep, full breath in. And then deep, full breath out. Notice how the tension has settled, so that you can come up seated with a greater intention to let your light be true to you, to rise up with power. Roll over to one side, and you can stay there or slowly come all the way up into the comfort of your seat. You do you, my friends, and the way you can do yourself and be true is to go inward. Inhale, bring the hands back to your own heart. So step inward and step into the greatness, the power, the strength to bear witness to all that's falling apart, all that's crumbling down, so that we can rebuild through an alignment, through connection to our sense of spirit, and from the power that shows up when we allow our souls to evolve. And when we do yoga, we get to have fun along the way and really allow it to embody our physical nature. And my hope is that the revelations that come through by releasing and engaging mindfully, you can step forward with your own brilliance, your own grace, and we can be brilliant together. Namaste. Thank you from me to you for showing up, for practicing, for being disciplined enough to surrender. And that's the idea of emotional security. Being disciplined enough to surrender and to return to that simple nature and build an infrastructure of your life, of your awareness, that lets you be mindful, and that we can trust that the transitions and all that we're transiting, we know it's gonna always be there, but we can transit and transition into our truth more fully. So I will see you next time.